say police say exposed himself in front of children at a park, is in jail after a father first detained him at gunpoint. Tim and Matt, the father is saying that he hopes the suspect gets some help.
That father says he gave the suspect multiple warnings before he went and got his gun. The chase between the father and the suspect went through the basketball courts here, through a playground with children, before it ended at a creek. I'm not even with you. Cell phone video shows the dramatic confrontation between an armed father and a naked man accused of exposing himself to children at a city park.
My kids are going to remember that, and that's a sad memory to have in their head.
Lovelace says the 21-year-old naked man was exposing himself to his two sons and other children at Trailblazer Park in Covington last Sunday. The Newton County father says he was at the park to feed the less fortunate through his church.
It's a family event, so everybody was pretty much frightened. So at that point in time, I go and get my fire.
He says he chased the man through the park while his grandmother dialed 911, and the suspect jumped off of a bridge and into a creek. That's when he started recording to show responding officers who Lovelace says told him to drop the gun.
While the cop has his firearm pointed towards me, the guy gets up and runs away again, jumps in the river.
But other officers arrested the naked man and identified him as Justin Mealer. Police took him to a hospital before they charged him with child molestation, being under the influence, and public indecency.
The guy just needs help. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, but the guy needs help.
And police say that Mealer's behavior warranted an extra child molestation charge because of all the children that were present at the time. That suspect remains in the Newton County Jail. Live in Newton County, Matt Johnson, Channel 2 Action News.
I would like to thank one of my patrons for sending me the story, Derek Talley. I know you said you had sent it to me in the form of an email, but I don't think I received it. But I do have it now, as you can see right now. First off, I have to give a huge shout out to this individual, Tay Lovelace, for jumping into action when he saw this guy. Like, be honest, if you was to see somebody just walking towards wherever you were at and they had no clothes on, like absolutely none, that would raise a lot of suspicions instantly. You wouldn't even have to second guess. And this guy didn't. He said, let me go and get my firearm because this guy, it just doesn't look right. Now, what would have happened if when the police showed up that they were going to, and they decided to shoot this guy? That means that child molester would have got away. And I looked, and when I was listening to the audio clip, you couldn't see it, but I was looking at it as it was playing. The guy really was butt naked. They had, when they were showing the footage from Tay Lovelace's cell phone, it showed him holding a gun towards the guy, and the guy was naked, and they had to blur out the bottom area because, for obvious reasons. And he actually did jump in that creek. Like when he was telling him to come from behind the bush or whatever, where he was at, he was literally walking out of the creek. Well, he is a creep, but he was walking out of the creek as if he lived in the damn creek. Like he was slowly creeping up out of there. Like that is some weird shit. Like he's going around and he's going to expose himself to kids, his children, and he's already a child molester. So they had to have known that this guy had to be a child molester. They had to have known. Because if he had got hit with child molester charges in the past, then that means he should be in their database. Why is he still out and about? And now they say he has an additional charge because there were kids present. They need to lock his ass up and make sure he stays locked up. For real. And I can understand why the guy, Tay, didn't want to like engage him any further than what he had to, because the guy had no clothes on. I mean, how would that look? You fighting a completely butt naked person in a public park with other people around. It just doesn't look right. So he had his firearm to keep the guy there. That's why the guy really didn't do anything. The only reason the guy jumped in the creek was because the cops showed up and pointed their gun towards him. But once they figured out that it wasn't him that they was after, and it's amazing how they immediately went after the black guy to point their gun at instead of what he was pointing his gun at. Clearly he was not the threat. And I'm almost certain that the person who called 911 gave them distinct instructions or a description of who it was. And clearly it wasn't a white guy. I mean, clearly it wasn't a black guy fully clothed. It was a white guy fully unclothed. But They have to make the black guy the boogeyman, even in situations such as this. So in a way, Tay Lovelace is a hero, because he saved potential kids from being probably snatched up. Because what if it was a function going on and all they have to do is have their backs turned for 1 second, where there's a lot of people around and someone might be just gone off to do whatever, boom, snatched just that quick, and it doesn't even take much. But the guy did look creepy, and he looked dirty as fuck. Like, he looked like, I don't know, like he hadn't bathed that week. But y'all let me know what you think down in the comments about this story. Like, comment, share, subscribe. The links to the Patreon and PayPal will be down below. I will talk to you in the next one.